Well, hello everybody. This is CraftyRia. Today I'm going to do something a bit different. It's way outside of my comfort zone, but it's for the love of swaps. And I used to love swaps. I used to be in all kinds of swaps, but I've kind of gotten away from the swaps. Some of the groups that I was in are no longer existent. So I was on Gift Basket Peels group, and Heather mentioned swaps. So she sent me a private message and she asked me if I wanted to do a swap. Of course I did, you know, I'm crazy like that. So she says, how about a stuffed envelope swap? And I thought, okay, I can take an envelope and stuff it with things from my desk, like ribbons and buttons and bling and just an envelope full of random things. Well, it turns out I was way wrong. That's not what a stuffed envelope swap is. I've been out of the swapping loop way too long. A stuffed envelope swap is this fancy envelope that you make. Beautiful, fancy envelope. And you stuff it with all kinds of crazy stuff that you make. Well, I of course had to Google it and look on YouTube and try to find out how to make an envelope and how to make the stuff, because I'm out of my league here. But I'm up for a challenge. So I'm going to work with you. I'm going to show you how I make this envelope. You're going to learn right along with me. I've watched several videos and I think I've come to the way I want to make the envelope, using several of the ideas kind of put together and a little spin on it my own way. So I hope you enjoy this video. If it doesn't come out right, I'll just edit out all the junk. Either that or I'll just leave my bloopers here for you to laugh at. So here we go. In this video, I'm just going to make the base, the actual envelope that I will be stuffing with things. There'll be more videos where I make the things that I'm going to stuff into the envelope. And then of course one video that's going to show the envelope at the end. Okay, so I'm going to start with this sheet of 12 by 12 paper. Well, first of all, I should say I had to pick a theme. It's anything goes, we decided. So it is towards the end of October. I'll probably not put these videos up until after she receives it, so you may even see it late. But I thought I would go with Halloween and fall themed, because I have some really gorgeous Halloween papers and fall papers that I just haven't used, and I really want to use them. So here I have this 12 by 12 sheet of paper. I have my camera way up so you can see my whole 12 by 12. But I want you to see that design. It's really pretty. It's black and orange and green. And then there's the back. It's just a stripe. And this paper is from Graphic 45. See if I can get it to go in the camera. Don't look at my nails. I have to do my nails. And then that's the collection, an ABC primer collection, Calico Kids it's called. It was just a piece of paper I found in my stash, and it happened to be in with all of my Halloween goodies. So I thought this was cool because it's a pretty design and it's kind of Halloweenish. So I'm going to make this into an envelope, a nice tall envelope with lots of pockets. So I'm going to put it into my scoring board. First of all, I will say don't use a paper that has a one-directional design on it. I have some with like owls and stuff, but you're going to fold it over onto the back and then part of it's going to be upside down. So you don't want the image to be upside down. And then on the stripes, I had to decide, the stripes are going to be the inside. I decided I wanted the stripes going vertically. So I'm going to put it here in my paper trimmer. So in order to fold this on a trifold, if I wanted it exactly, I would score it at 3 and then at 3 and then have it fold, but I need it to overlap a little bit. So I'm going to do my first score here at 3 inches. So I'm just going to give this a really good score. And you kind of want a thick cardstock, but nothing too crazy thick. You want to be able to fold it easy. And then I want to score at 3 1/4, but I'm going to flip it around this way. So I have this score here, which I guess you would say it's at 9 now. And then I'm going to score again at 3 1/4. I'm going to have a 1/4 of an inch overlap. Whoops. 1/4 of an inch. I scored it at almost 3 1/2 by mistake. Okay, so I have that right there. So then I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it on those score lines. And as always, I fold away from the way I scored. Helps those the fibers in the paper to bend the right way. And I'm going to fold it there. Luckily, it's a busy pattern, and you're not really going to notice that I accidentally scored this piece here. So this is going to be the front of the envelope, and I'm going to glue it. But first, I want to decide how much of this I want to fold up onto itself. So I want to get my ruler and decide if I want a 5-inch pocket, it would make it be this big, and then my pocket would go to there. That's too much. If I did a 3-inch pocket, it would be this big, and the pocket, that's not enough. Maybe, what about 4 inches? It would be this big, and then 4 inches, the pocket would go to there. I think that is going to be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to open this back up, and it is going to fold up this way, 4 inches. I'm going to open this back up, and then I'm going to put it in my paper trimmer this way, and I am going to score on the 4-inch line. And since this is going to be folding both ways, I'm going to flip it over and score it the other way. I really want to separate those paper fibers. I really want a good fold there because it's going to do a lot of work. Okay, so we take it here. Well, I think first, let me get this out of the way. And I'm going to fold this 4-inch piece up. I just want to get those folds stretched way out. And I'm going to fold it back the other way. I really want those paper fibers stretched, but I don't want it to go over on itself. Okay. So when I fold it up, this is what it's going to look like. So there's a couple of things, there's several ways that you can deal with this piece of paper being folded now, okay? Number one, you can put glue on this whole piece that's being folded up and fold it up here, and then you're going to have one pocket here, okay? Or you can put glue on this edge and this edge, fold it up, and you have one pocket and 2 pockets. If you do either one of those things, I would suggest you go like this, and you go from this score line to here, and you cut just a very little sliver. You're going to just cut like that much of a sliver off, because when you're folding it up, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but you can kind of see that back piece, and you want to take that out of there just to make it neat. You could also, if you have a decorative punch, you can punch this piece and fold it up and then have either 1 or 2 pockets on the edge. I'm going to do something different. I want 2 pockets, but I don't want them to be the same size. I want this front pocket to be a little bit lower, like maybe down to those 2 pieces there. I'm going to cut those 2 pieces, which would be, how much would it be? About 1.5 inches lower. So my second pocket is going to be this size. So that's what I'm going to do. So before I cut anything, I am going to flip this over, and I want to cut out this piece here. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer. So I have my paper trimmer, and I'm going to use this paper trimmer to cut out that piece. I'm going to put it in my, and I know you can't see the lines, but I can see, let me mark it with some tape, just so you can see the corner of the score lines. I have this blue painter's tape. I'm just going to stick it on my pants for a second to get even more of the tack off of it. And I'm going to put it on this, just this side of the score line. Okay, so the score line is right there. I'm going to do the same thing with the other side, because you can't see that on camera at all. Okay, so we have the fold lines right there, and I want to cut this piece out. So I'm going to put it in my paper cutter, and I'm going to line it up with that. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think I want to cut it. No, never mind. I'm glad I didn't cut it. I want to score that, because I want to fold it over to make a border. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to score it at 10.5. I have to see exactly where that 10.5 line is here. There we go. And I'm going to score this really hard, just between those 2 lines. Okay, so I just scored that piece. I don't know if you can see it on the other side. So I scored a line right there because I want to fold it over. Then I'm going to take my scissors and just cut right on that score line here. You can use the paper trimmer if you want it to be exact, but I'm just using my scissors because I don't think this has to be an exact cut. Plus you've got the score line as your guide. So I'm going to take this tape off carefully. I'm going to put this tape aside because I might use it again for something else, I don't know, on this project. It's just hard for you to see these lines. I should do it on white cardstock. And then I'm going to take this piece and just fold it back. Fold it over on itself. I have no idea what this is really going to look like. There we go. So what you'll have then when it's all said and done, you'll have one pocket here and you'll have one pocket here, and then you're going to have your big pocket up here. Now I don't like that so much. I'm wondering if I want to fold this back up. And to make this, I'm going to try it. I'm going to score this on this line right here, just to see how it looks if I do a double fold. like I said, this is kind of an experiment. So I've lost where I am now. Okay, I have this, I have this, I have this. So I'm wondering if I want to fold that back, or maybe just cut that piece off. And you have that. Or what if I folded it to the inside? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to leave that folded to the inside to give that a nice lip there. Except I'm going to, this time I'm going to cut that piece off. And since it's on the inside, I don't need to use the paper cutter. I'm just going to, just to take some of the bulk out, I'm going to cut along that line. And I'm going to take a little piece off that each corner here, just to give less bulk. There we go. So we have it like this. That piece will be folded in. We have it like this. That gives a nice finished edge here. And then we have this. So we have a pocket here, we'll have a pocket here, and we're going to have a pocket up here. I like that a lot. I'm going to trim this piece a little bit since it's hanging over. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Well, I don't think that one really needs it. Let me see. Maybe a sliver there. Line it up and see where I'm at. Yeah, that one needs a little trim. This side here needs just a sliver. And that is hanging over as well. So I'm going to take a sliver off of this as well. Okay. I like this a lot. So I'm going to start by adhering this piece down so it's out of the way. And with this, I can use tape. Just put a couple pieces of tape on there. And I'm going to burnish it down really well. I don't want anything to get caught on it. So we have that. That looks really cool. Then I have to decide, I'm going to fold these two pieces out. So I have to decide how far down I want to fold them. Actually, first of all, my paper is not exactly sitting the way I want it to. Okay. All right, so I think maybe I'll go down to that third square down. You can use any measurement you like, but I'm going to go to that third square down. And I'm going to put glue. I'm going to mark it on the inside. I'm just going to make a mark with my pencil right there, that third line, and I'm going to put a thin bead of glue all the way down this. I'm going to use this art glitter glue because it dries clear and it is pretty strong glue. And you don't need a lot. I'm just going to do a bead of it right down all the way to the edge. So I'm going to take it and then I'm going to fold it over and just press it down. Make sure I got it all out. Nothing's seeping over the paper. And then I'm going to do the same thing on here. I'm going to put tape and glue on this one, because this is going to take a lot of stress. Then I'm going to take my bead of glue, go all the way down to the fold and all the way up. And I'm going to just fold it back and just line those edges up. And just make sure they stick down really good. Put my pin back in my glue so it doesn't get clogged up. Okay, so there we have the base of the envelope. Now I'm going to do some decorations. So we have an envelope here. We are a pocket and a pocket here. Now this pocket here is a little tighter than this pocket, but you'll have the, whoops, the big pocket to hold a lot of things as well. All right, I'm gonna get something. All right, let me check and make sure that that glue is holding. Yep. I'm going to put these little binder clips on the side to hold them down while I'm doing my next step. And that way that'll give that glue plenty of time to dry. Okay, so for this piece here, I want to open this up kind of like a shirt fold. I'm going to use my bone folder and just bend the fibers of that paper. I can take my pencil and roll it around that paper. And then I'm going to take this other piece and do the same thing. So I have this piece opening up, kind of like a shirt. Now you can leave it up like that, or you can fold it a little flatter. I'm going to try to go a little flatter with it. I think I kind of like it flatter. Try to make it a little even on each side. There we go. So I've got my little pocket here. I've got a pocket here and a pocket there. That's kind of cool. I'm going to put an extra dot of glue right up under this. Just to hold that in place a little bit better so it doesn't tear. Okay, now I'll have to see what kind of embellishments I want to put on here. So that kind of looks like a shirt. I like it a lot. It's kind of cool. I have some fibers and goodies. I have some orange lace, some black fibers, I have a black tassel. I have just all kinds of goodies in here. And I also have this bag that has some goodies in it as well. Some trims. Some grain even. So let me see. That's going to be too glitzy. I kind of like this. It's kind of a black trim with some black ribbon. Let me get these off. A little fly that landed on my desk. Go away, fly, shoo fly. And I thought I could put that up on the top of that pocket maybe. I also have this fancy gold and ivory trim that I thought I might want to put there maybe, or there. Okay, I picked out some trims, and I think I'm going to put this gold trim at the top of that pocket there. I'm going to start off by that. I'm going to have it meet in the back, so I want to make enough to go around at least once. I'll get my sharp scissors. And I want this to be really adhered down well to the top of this. So I'm going to put a couple runs of my tape runner just right across here, just so I have a really good thick piece of tape. I'm going to take my ribbon and lay it down so it is even with the top of that pocket. Then I'm going to bring it to the back. I want to cut it. I'm going to put this side down first. I'll put the tape all the way down onto the ribbon, just like I do when I make a card. I'm going to have this piece come and just meet it in the middle. And this will be the back, so it's not really that big of a deal if it's not exactly perfect. And take my glue and put just a little bit right along that edge. And I'm going to kind of just squish it down with my finger just so it doesn't fray. It's kind of using it as a fray check. That will dry clear and you won't be able to see that. I'm going to trim off the little string. There we go. Alright, so we have that ribbon, and that's also going to help hold that pocket in place. And for this bottom pocket, I thought I would use this fancier ribbon here. And I think I'm going to see if I can get it to fold back over on itself. No, I'm going to have it meet in the back as well. I'm going to have it there, right along that black line. And again, I'll put some of this tape. And for this ribbon, since it is not a flat ribbon, I'm going to put some liquid glue here as well. I don't think it has a front or a back. I'm going to do the same on the back. I want to make sure this complete end is glued down really well. Then I'm going to measure up this side, give it a trim, and do the same thing. Put a bunch of glue there. And I'm going to glue this end down. And this glue will dry clear, so don't worry about it seeing that white. So I have a little bit of ribbon there, and I have some pretty trim here. I also have this trim, and I thought maybe I would try maybe making it into a V across this top. Almost as like a necklace up underneath that folded piece. I think this is the front. I'm going to go ahead and trim it down to a piece that looks really nice. I'll put a piece of tape kind of sort of where I want it to be, not so much on top of that. This tape does move and roll and really is forgiving. I have to decide which is the front. I don't think there is. Yes, there is a front versus a back. Okay, have that piece go like that. I'm going to put some glue down. Maybe I should go over the edge there a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing up this side. I'm almost out of tape. I don't know how well my tape is going to last. I have to decide how I want this to look, if I want it to be round, curved, I mean. Yeah, I think I kind of like it curved like that. Actually, I think that tape is going to hold it just fine. I'll put a couple dots of glue behind a few of these flowers just to kind of hold them down. Okay. I'm going to cut this off right there. I'm going to cut it off at that flower. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Cut that and cut it off at that flower. There we go. We have that across the top. Put a little glue at each edge, not on my table. Kind of use it as a fray check. Okay, this is where I'm going to stop on this envelope now. As I make more embellishments for the inside and start placing them in, I'll determine if I want to put more things on the outside. So there's the basic envelope. I've just got some pretty trim around the top. I've got the opening there. I've got an opening there and an opening there with just some basic trim around it. And like I said, as I make things for the inside, I will probably use bits and pieces of it to decorate the outside. Plus the things are going to be sticking out of it, and that will be a decoration as well. So there we have step one, which is the envelope, and that's what it looks like on the back. Just kind of plain. I will probably sign my name on the bottom somewhere, or make a little tag handmade by Ria or something like that to put on the bottom. So that's what we have so far. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you try to make one of your own, maybe do a swap with someone. And that is it. That is part one, the envelope for a stuffed envelope swap. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't want to miss any of the other videos, please click that subscribe button and the bell so you get a notification when I upload more videos. Give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Thanks again for watching. Now go get crafting. Bye-bye.